Yo, this is really what if Bakugou was a scientist. Like, you need to find out about it. Yo, so Bakugou still has his quirk and him and Deku are best friends. So we're gonna start around the time like where their junior high year was ending. Alright, let's start. So they're both at Bakugou's house right now. They were planning on being duo partners when they get to UA, and they trained a lot on their free time just to make sure they were a good fit together. Bakugou with his explosions, Deku with his teleportation warping, and being able to freeze the time properties of any single object, or at least at the level he is right now of his quirk. So them two already knew, like, Bakugou is like top tier, like really smart, like it plays a big part in their work and being partners. Yeah, Bakugou still had his quirk, and he can fight, and he is practicing, but he mainly wants to be a scientist to help find ways to evolve his quirk and get stronger faster. First thing he was thinking about was his suit. He was telling Deku that he wanted a matte black full armor suit that heats up his body to the highest temperature he can handle, and the temperature of the suit gets hotter the more he uses his quirk. He also says that's the minimum of what he wants the suit to be able to do. Since they were having a conversation about suits, Deku was going to tell Bakugou what suit he wanted, or what he wanted it to be like. But before he could, he checked the time and saw it was mad late. And tomorrow was their last day of school. So he was just like, whatever. And he was like, I'll talk to you later. He grabbed his stuff and, he ran home because he didn't want his mom to be worried. But that's only the beginning. So now it's the next day while they're at school. It's like close to the end of the day, so a lot of people are saying goodbye. Some people are leaving early that day. A lot of goodbyes. A lot of people, maybe somebody's moving or something like that. You know how school would be. And Deku and Bakugou, they're ready because after school they're going. Okay, so like where they train at is like this warehouse, abandoned warehouse, or it's just like something, a place that nobody don't use anymore. Like, because I wouldn't really call it like abandoned, like like garbage, but and that's where they train at. And they're gonna go there and like basically 1v1 each other just to practice before, and then after that they're gonna go get something to eat, since it's like the last day of school. By the time the teacher dismisses them, they're already ready to leave, go home. Well, a lot of people are. Them, like I said, they're already about to go train. So the moment they leave, they're just walking, talking about anything, regular stuff, laughing, joking. And then they came up with this idea to actually race to the warehouse. And, they both accept, and, they're fine with it. They start running. Bakugou is dusting Deku. Like, he's doing him dirty. He's all the way, way ahead of him. And by they just keep running. It's about 5 minutes away. They keep running. This is also to get their body ready, for the training they're about to do. And right before Bakugou gets there, before he beats Deku freezes him, and he runs right past him and get there before him. And they're joking, laughing about it. But after they finish joking around, they go inside and automatically, because it's not really suited for this. They plan to make it more suited for them to fight in it. That's why they have to chill on using their powers a lot to not destroy the building or anything. Well, I don't think they're really that strong yet, but it's not to damage it, because they just like hanging out there. It's not a place that they would want to damage, obviously. And so they're chilling in there. By the time it's ready, by the time they're both ready, Bakugou is just because they're already trying to practice using their abilities, what they're gonna do, because they like to try to catch each other off guard. But Bakugou, he's trying to use his quirk, but it's he doesn't really know what to do that he hasn't done already. So he's trying to think of something new that he can use. So by the time they start training, Bakugou thought of something. They start. Bakugou spreads his legs apart. Pause. No gay shit. Sorry. That it was a joke. But and then he uses his quirk to start flying, but it's like the way it works, it kind of like is like a spinning kick, and they're basically trying to like go all out right now. And the moment he does that, Deku is surprised. So like he's he like stunned, so he doesn't really know what to do right now. But he snaps back into it. Deku, he knows like what Bakugou did is smart and is an interesting move, but like he basically just thinks about it for a second and already knows how to stop it. It's a good move, just like it's not really good against his. So what he does is he teleports to where Bakugou is like really fast, and like he hits, like he's basically he pulls his leg the other way, the opposite way of what he's spinning, and then like Deku's arm, like his arm just like his hand is like hurting like from it, but he just spun him the other way. Bakugou loses his balance, and then not really much he could do from there. He falls to the ground, which is all he had to do to win. It was kind of like a cheap win, but it's like he technically still won. So they know that the strongest out of them two is Bakugou, because Deku's ability isn't really a fighting ability. Like, it's how you definitely useful for sure, but it's not really like a fighting ability. And when they're training, they don't use Deku's ability to like stop something, or like because they can't really use that because it just won't be fair, and so they just avoid it. But yeah, they go to get something to eat, and like they go to get something to eat, and basically Bakugou tells him that he's definitely getting smarter with his quirk. Same with Deku tells him the same, actually, because like Bakugou, he's really smart when it comes to like just IQ, but like his battle IQ is definitely needs some work. Well, like that's what he's telling him. And they both gotta work on that. Well, they both gotta work on things, but he just letting him know. Okay, and they're both good at like taking criticism from each other. Yeah, and that's really it for this day. So I guess let's continue with the story. Days were going by fast. They're out of school now, it's summer. Everything was normal and they were still working hard. But one day, they decided to go to the store and get some supplies for Bakugou's new idea. And on their way back, they hear people screaming. And considering how confident they are, they had to go check out what it was instead of running with them. That's when they see the sludge villain attacking. And knowing them two, they both knew they had to fight him. They didn't ask each other any questions. They already knew what to do once they seen it, or knew what they had to do. Even though they knew that they had to fight, they didn't really have a plan for it. And Deku seen Bakugou, getting ready to attack him, but Deku was still, wary on like what, because he didn't really know what this villain could do really. But Bakugou just charged in there. Deku tried to tell him wait, but Bakugou just kept going. And if he's not listening, Deku's just gonna help him instead of not helping him. Instead of just freezing the goo goblin, I'm sorry. But instead of just freezing him in time, Deku actually couldn't, because this ability was actually pretty uncontrollable. By uncontrollable, I mean, yeah, he could focus it on one thing, but it's hard for him to not freeze something else, just like in the vicinity. Like, he would probably freeze some civilians that's trying to get away, and Bakugou too. Deku tells himself he knows what he has to do. So he just teleported Deku above the sludge monster, or whatever it's called. Bakugou tries to use his quirk, but it just lets off sparks, and he falls straight in. He doesn't really usually attack from up close, but he had to save Bakugou too. He teleports himself in front of him. And he couldn't just teleport Bakugou, because when somebody's in something like that, it's hard for him to not teleport it with whoever's in it. And if he just got them farther away from him to the point where he's farther than he is now, it's gonna be way harder to save him. And he didn't know if that was gonna happen with this specific sludge, but he just didn't want to risk it. He grabs Bakugou's arm and pulls him out. But the moment he pulls him out, he slips and he falls straight inside the sludge. The moment Deku fell in, he automatically started thinking about how the only reason why they lost this is not being able to control their ability. The only problem now is that he knows he won't be able to, tell Bakugou about that flaw that they need to fix. Now he's paying attention to him because he actually looks at them, as somewhat a threat now. So Bakugou knows he won't be able to just go grab him. He's trying to use his explosions, but just sparks, the same as before. Deku can see Bakugou is just about to rush in there, you know, because Deku is like a brother to Bakugou, at least somewhat. And, you know, if he wants to be a hero, he has to, you know, prove to himself that he can actually, you know, he actually has the courage to do it. He tells Deku not to worry and that he'll come and help him. But Deku just smiles and shakes his head. He freezes his body. Bakugou can't move. The only thing he can do is watch. Bakugou wants to, but he can't cry because his tears are frozen. Mind you, they're childhood friends, but just it's like before, but it just went better. Because they're actually friends and not just one of them following the other one around. But as Bakugou watches his best friend take his last breath, falls to his knees because his quirk wears off, you know, now that he's, you know, packed. Then right after that, All Might shows up, and you know he sees what happened, and you know he kind of just has like a look on his face like, oh yeah, I'm late, but he still sees that there's more people that need to be helped, and he does what he has to do. Easily takes care of the slime guy, whatever his name is, and you know, now that like he asked, because then like everybody's like talking about it, so he kind of like got a grasp of like what happened. He tries to ask Bakugou if he's okay, and Bakugou just looks at him like, yo, where were you? But like after that, Bakugou, like he stopped crying, like he got up and he ran, like he was out of there. He ran. He went to where they trained at. It was like this abandoned warehouse, and he knows that he's probably gonna have to remodel it, but he had this idea for a while, and he never told Deku about it, and you know now he doesn't have a chance. To put it short, he's gonna turn this warehouse to his lab, and he knows already what he needs to make. He's had this idea for a while, but it's dangerous, so that's why he never told Deku about it, because he knew he wouldn't be on board. He had this idea to make this serum that temporarily boosts your quirk. It's kind of like steroids for My Hero characters. He needed a lot to start this project. Something he wanted to add is he wanted to somehow get one of those collars that they have in MHA jails to stop people's powers, or maybe make a custom one and equip it to his suit when he makes it, because he wants to make his suit to, you know, help his body withstand the serum. You know, like if it gives him too much of a boost, he's gonna need something to stop it. That's why he wants one of those collars on his suit. Then he thought about, why help other people when you could just help yourself? Because he knows for sure that if they would have just left to started trying to help people, you know, Deku would still be alive right now. He's still planning on going to UA, only because it can help him with his work. Yeah, so I'm gonna end this part here. Hopefully I'll be able to make my first What If Part 2 on like Wednesday or Thursday of this. But yeah, I'm done for now. Peace out.